What's up, Plebheads? I'm Neo.
And I'm Jdog.
Oh, it's that time again. Another No BS review. This time, it's City of Brass. Jdog, I know you have a few things you want to say about this game. Go ahead, take it away.
Well, as a fan of roguelites and roguelikes in general, I was definitely hoping I would enjoy this more. We had a 2-hour play session with this game, and I really thought that it fell short. And you know, I look at some of the games we've played over the past, let's just say 6 months or a year or so, Dead Cells, Sundered, Rogue Legacy. And one of the things those games really do well is they have a easy to understand progression system in them. And for me, that's one of the most important things in rogue games, right? Or in roguelike or roguelite games, is a progression system that's easy to understand.
Yep.
So that I feel like I at least know where I'm headed. Now, I don't mind if the game takes a while to get there, and I don't mind if I struggle initially, or if I don't get very far initially. But I have to at least be able to see the light at the end of the tunnel, and know that what I'm doing will allow me to upgrade at some point.
Yes.
Or upgrade in a way that's meaningful.
Also,
and
yes.
that's really important. And that's the biggest problem I had with this game. We played for 2 hours, and we leveled up a couple times, and we found a few different weapons, but I never felt that they affected our gameplay.
Yeah.
I never felt stronger. I never felt like the gameplay was different. I never felt that it was better or worse based on what weapons I was using. I never felt that, you know, I was more effective against enemies or less effective against enemies. I felt the gameplay was consistently the same for my entire play session.
Yep.
And for me, that's not the experience I'm looking for.
Not in a roguelike game.
No, it's not. And would it change later on? Maybe. I don't know. I'm not going to keep the game long enough to find out.
That's what I was going to say. For $20, we're not going to stick around long enough to find out. And that, with those kind of first impressions.
So, what this game has going for it is it has a lot of different modifiers that you can select before you start your playthrough. Do you want there to be a timer? Do you want enemies to have more health or more speed or this or that or the other thing? So there's tons of different modifiers. So in a lot of ways, I feel that this game is more geared towards some form of leaderboards or speedrunning or something like that. And it's not necessarily, at least from what I saw, geared towards a, you know, a complete play session almost, or a session where
Exploration.
you're exploring or trying to progress in level. And again, different games for different people, but I just want you to understand that going into it. I felt the progression in this game was non-existent, at least over the first 2 hours. And when I play a roguelite game, and I don't see, again, I don't need to, I'm not saying I need progression right away, but I need to be able to understand how it works. And I never was able to with this game.
It's like you had to fill in the blanks on your own.
I did. And I didn't, that really threw me off. There is an XP system, so you get XP every run, and then you get another level, and what does that do? It unlocks a weapon, but that doesn't necessarily mean you can use the weapon all the time, or you have to maybe find it, or you don't find it, or it's random. And so I really struggled to understand what the point of it all was.
I'm feeling you on all this.
And then, so that's my main gripe with the game. And underneath that, the gameplay wasn't all that exhilarating.
Very slow and clunky.
We played in a, basically kind of a Arabian Nights style environment, desert themed,
Arabian
Egyptian
proper
type thing, whatever. You fight the same series of 3 to 5 different looking zombies, at least in the initial levels. You whip them to stun them, you hit them with the sword. It wasn't terribly exciting.
No. Very boring, actually.
Now, yes, there's treasures to collect. There's, you know, genies that give you different abilities or allow you to buy health or buy this or buy that.
There's traps.
There's
a lot
traps
of traps
that you can either avoid or turn off or pull enemies into or push enemies into. But the overall combat of the game really didn't hook me in a way that, say, a game like Sundered's did, or even a basic game like Rogue Legacy. The combat in that game, at least, was competent, in my opinion. And the combat here just felt a little clunky.
Very. I was the one playing it. I can tell you it was very stiff.
You know, so it's like you have a whip, but I struggle to find it useful.
Other than the stun.
So it stuns enemies. When we finally got the ice whip, I guess we were able to
stop them,
freeze them, which was actually probably the best thing we found.
Yep.
But again, one-off things, one-off moments of fun, and your health depletes pretty fast, and you're left trying to buy more health, and eventually you die. So, yeah, I don't know. I just didn't have enough here to really hook me. I mean, what were your thoughts? You were the one doing most of the play session.
Well, I do know. I know at a $20 price point, this game is This is a $10 game. If you're asking me, this game is worth no more than $10.
I feel 10 is fair.
10 is fair only if you know what you're getting yourself into. Otherwise, wait for incredibly deep sale.
Yeah.
Very clunky and stiff controls. I don't. Here's the thing: your character swings like this. Very slow. Very slow. It didn't make me feel like I was in the game. It didn't help me immerse myself in the game at all, because I certainly wouldn't be swinging a sword like this, like it was a fucking 30-pound hammer.
Yeah.
It's a scimitar. They're not that heavy.
Yeah.
And so I felt very stifled in combat. I felt very held back. I did not feel like my character was fighting to his full potential.
You know, and you look at games, you look at a lot of the roguelites out there, for the most part, they're third person. Mm-hmm. And they have a little bit quicker combat to them.
I was okay with this game being first person. I actually, I played the game Immortal Redneck. Same thing. That's a first person shooter. This is more of a first person hack and slash.
Yep.
I didn't mind it. It's a cool concept, but there's a pacing.
Yeah.
We talk about pacing in so many of our videos, and this game just does not have that pacing. The enemy movements does not seem deliberate. It does not seem planned. It seems like they're random gen spawns. Some of them were kind of smart, hiding alongside of doors and coming through doors after you open the doors. That was cool. That I liked. The bosses were freaking heinously hard. Like,
well, do we even get to a boss?
Yeah, then he killed me right away. I only had one hit left when I got to it because health is so goddamn expensive.
Well, and and there's no health drops that we found. So that was something that really kind of threw me.
Yeah.
So the first person thing, let's just go back to that a second, isn't really the be-all, end-all.
No.
It didn't feel crisp enough, I guess, is what I would say.
Like I said, the game overall is clunky.
Yeah. So, and just about all these rogue games that we play, for the most part, there's health pickups, right? I mean, it's hard to kill 100 enemies without getting hit once in a while. Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't care how good you are at it. So, there's usually, you find some health stuff, some health drops. In this game, you have to buy your health, and you only get one health heart refilled. So sooner or later, you're going to die. Now, can you upgrade that later on? Maybe. I don't know. But we never found health pickups in this game. We never found power-up pickups. Things like that where you thought, oh, hey, I'm getting a little bit stronger. I'm accomplishing something.
I liked when...
So it felt like we were beating our heads against the wall constantly.
I liked how the weapons followed the game's theme, the Arabian Nights theme. So you found like a Chris, like the triangular blade. And you found, or maybe it's not a Chris, but whatever the hell it was properly named. And I found a torch I used to light enemies on fire. That was really cool. And I found the ice whip. There was a whip of thorns, a blunt whip, one that knocked them back way further than normal. There was a couple other swords in there too. And I liked that. Like, I was okay with the weapons, though. I thought the weapons were cool. I just thought...
They never changed the way combat worked. I didn't
know. Very, very, I mean, if there was any increase in speed at all, it was so minimal. The one whip was a little bit faster, and you could definitely tell. It was much increased over the other whip for speed. But still, the whip doesn't make a big difference. The whip does no damage.
Yeah. So those are the things I think that really disappointed me the most about this game. And then a final point. In the game, you're able to, quote-unquote, buy or summon in a NPC.
Oh my god, this is the worst.
Like an AI-controlled NPC
glad,
to help you.
I'm glad you said that, because I almost forgot.
And honestly, that was one of the worst parts of the game for us.
It sucked so bad.
The AI-controlled NPC that you get is dumber than dumb. He's dumber than a box of rocks.
Yeah.
Now, he does do some damage and kill enemies when they're present.
Absolutely.
But he spends more time getting in your way than he does helping you.
You should be able to walk through that enemy.
Yeah, it's a terrible oversight, I think, by the developers.
Right.
I'm not sure what the hell they were thinking.
Must be fixed.
But he's a ghost, first off. The guy you summon in is like a little avatar, like a little ghost avatar thing. But to not be able to move through him, it absolutely almost breaks the game. We were trapped in corridors. We were trapped in
at a chest,
weird spaces, more than 2 or 3 times. I think it was 3 or 4 or 5 times in just a 2-hour play session where we were literally screaming and yelling at the guy to move out of the way. And he's so stupid, he just stands there and watches you. And it's really, really game breaking as far as I'm concerned.
Very poorly done.
So it's an easy fix. All they have to do is allow you to be able to move through him.
Yep.
Which, again, makes perfect sense to me. So I'm not sure why it isn't like that.
I don't know.
But it damn near breaks the game. It's absolutely infuriating to be... Because a lot of times you'll go down these little corridors to get to a chest. You'll go get the chest, and the guy will follow you down the corridor and then stop. And so you'll be at the chest wanting to come back, and the guy will literally be stopped. He won't know to lead the way because he follows you. Right? So you're stuck there. And it's absolutely infuriating.
It's asinine.
Very
very poorly programmed on that
It's
part.
some of the worst AI NPC, helpful co-op AI NPC AI I've ever seen.
The fighting is fine. The fighting ability of it is fine.
He does good at fighting the guys, but he's
in your way constantly.
He's literally like, I don't know how to explain it, like a stupid little... it doesn't even make any sense. I mean, it's actually comical. We have a live stream up on the channel if you guys want to check it out, and you'll see us absolutely losing our minds when those things get in our way. So that's probably the biggest problem with the game. If you do summon in one of those AI helpers,
be aware.
You're going to get trapped by them more than they're going to help you. So that the game loses major points for that for me.
For me too.
Hopefully they'll patch that. I mean, and I don't know. I don't know what else to say about it. It's stupid.
Overall, this game has potential.
It does.
But it was, this is not an early access release. This is a full game release.
Yeah.
If I had bought this on PlayStation 4, I'd be really pissed off.
Yeah.
I feel like I would.
Wasted $20.
That's exactly how I would feel.
Yep. So you got to know what you're buying. If you're looking for something where you're going to compete with certain modifiers for scores, then you might be okay, because it does offer a ton of different options for replayability.
Absolutely.
But if you're looking for a more curated single player experience where you're doing certain things to progress your character and to really build a character, this game misses it for me big time.
Me too. I agree.
There's better options out there. Sundered, Dead Cells, far better options for roguelites that let you really build and grow your character.
Give me a final score for City of Ass, Jdog.
I'll go 5 out of 10. I think that's being generous, but that's where I am.
I'll go 4.5.
Yeah.
Graphics are good. The sound and gameplay, the sound blends with the gameplay really well. The actual music was okay.
Concept is fine.
The
execution is really flawed.
Really, really poor execution here.
Yeah. $10 maximum. I would not.
$10 maximum. Maybe wait for a $5 to $7 sale during the holidays.
5 is probably more realistic.
Yeah.
What?
And only if you like roguelikes and roguelites and are willing to invest about 35 to 45 hours.
Fair enough.
I'm Neil with the Balding Plebs.
I'm Jdog.
Thank you guys so much for watching our no BS review.
And I want to say one more thing. If you're still not sure about this game, we do have a live stream for it up on the channel. I recommend that you check out the gameplay before you make your final decision on it.
Absolutely.
Because I want you to at least see some of the frustrations we had with it, before you go and pop your money down on it.
Good point, Jdog. I like that you made that point. We are the Balding Plebs. Make sure you guys like the video. If you enjoy this kind of no BS content, comment down below if you're a fan of City of Brass, or if you're not a fan, let us know what you think. And we'll see each and every one of you right here next time for more gameplays, live streams, hangout nights, no BS reviews, and content just like this.
Good night, everyone.
GG, ya plebs.